non-binary powers. Welcome back to the SEN Podcast. I'm Nova.
Welcome back. Hey everyone, on today's episode, we are talking about addiction. So, what is addiction, Nova?
Addiction is what I have. Okay, but the dictionary definition is the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance or activity. Yeah, that's the dictionary definition.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I mean, we've all gone through a phase where we've, kind of been addicted to something.
Most definitely. Okay, but Steven, so what are some of the addictions someone can have?
Well, there are multiple, but the main ones are drugs, alcohol, nicotine, and gambling. Those are the most, I guess.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
There's other ones like caffeine, sugar, gaming. The list goes on, but we're just mainly gonna cover the most dangerous ones today. Like Steven said, the drugs, the alcohol, nicotine, so smoking and gambling.
Yeah, these are more. They're like the things that can majorly impact you in the long run. Hence why we're covering them.
Okay, so for me, the two I mainly had suffered with in my life is alcohol and nicotine. I've been through alcoholism, and I still currently have a nicotine addiction, but I'm working on that one.
Me too. Yeah. I think alcohol is a really big one where we live, just because it's kind of like a cultural kind of thing.
Yeah, Australia has a very big drinking culture.
Yeah. Hence why a lot of people get hooked on it. And usually there's like a tavern or a pub just down the road from everyone's house.
Yeah, I got 1 kilometer away, walking distance.
Yeah.
We have 2 bottle shops in a kilometer distance.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I can walk home with alcohol. Like, that's how easy it is to get it.
Oh yeah.
It takes me less than 10 minutes to get alcohol.
Yeah, and you actually get quite a few people. I think they're going through some issues in their lives. You kind of see them drinking out in public as well sometimes, which is
I've definitely done
illegal.
that. It is illegal, but I've done it.
But a lot of people actually don't even report that kind of thing unless like they get really out of hand or they're disturbing the public. But if they're just peacefully drinking, then it's only legal if you get permission for it, of course. If it's like an event or something, but other than that, it's usually a big no.
Yeah. I guess I'll start with my story of alcoholism. So, when I was 18 years old, I had the worst year of my life. I'm not really going to go into detail, because I'll cry on the podcast.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, but because of that, I didn't know any coping mechanisms for what I went through that year. So I started turning to drinking. And my drinking eventually turned into more and more, to the point where I was drinking like a bottle of whiskey a day.
Oh, damn, that's quite a fair bit.
Yeah, so not only is it expensive, because Australia has a tax on all alcohol.
Yeah.
So our alcohol costs a lot more. It was like, also, I was just drunk all the time. Because there's like, how many shots are in a whiskey? Like a 40% one.
Quite a lot actually.
It's like 20 something.
I'll have a look at it. How many standard drinks in a bottle of whiskey? Let's have a look. A whole bottle, so 700 mils is 22 standard drinks.
Yeah, 22.
Oh
Now I used to do that every day.
man.
So, when money was a bit tight, I used to get Little Fat Lamb. Do you know what Little Fat Lamb is?
Oh no.
Okay, so it's like this wine that's like 16% alcohol, but they come in
Yeah.
1 liter bottles and 1.5 liter bottles. So I
Oh,
used to just
that's
drink
cheap.
those, and they used to be like $15 each. So
That's
you can
pretty
just
cheap.
get drunk. Yeah, you can just get drunk of that.
Oh my, I wish I knew that back in my heydays.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically Australian soju. Yeah, so
Oh man.
yeah, because I didn't know any coping methods for my depression, which was really bad at the time. So
Yeah.
I turned to the alcohol because I thought that was the only way I could get it out of my mind. And it was like really rough on my physical body, my mental health, my wallet, because I was just spending so much just to keep in a state where I didn't have to think about my feelings and emotions. So, what about you, Stephen? What's your story?
Myself obviously is nicotine, as we've covered.
Hmm.
I guess I use that as a coping mechanism for when I was really stressed. The first time I ever had anxiety, due to my relationship issues, I kind of turned it to nicotine. It's just for kind of like a breathing mechanism, but obviously it does turn into addiction as well. And at the time it does help, but gradually, you kind of do feel the effects of nicotine over time. And I myself personally thought that I was pretty strong mentally. However, I was obviously wrong, and I kind of did turn to that for just to cope with my relationship issues. But same as Nova, I am trying to get off of it as well. Um, Obviously, every now and then I do kind of get like a relapse and kind of turn to it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, but I do really want to get off of it, and especially now that vaping is, I think importing vapes into Australia is illegal now, I think. So like they've kind of like cut down a lot of the vapes being imported into Australia and stuff, but it's gonna dig a hole in my wallet as well if I continue to do so. Hence why I'm trying to get off of it. Yeah, they're getting expensive just because of the import issues.
Yeah. Vaping used to be cheap, like cheaper than cigarettes, but now
Yeah.
they're like the same price. Pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah. Like I have a nicotine addiction as well that I've been trying to get off. It's hard. I've been relapsing as well, but yeah, nicotine it's harder to get off than alcohol for me
Hmm.
because the way nicotine makes you feel, like let's just say the head spin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like nicotine is relaxing, where I never found alcohol relaxing. Yeah. But yeah, but we're gonna talk about how you can overcome addiction, and we're actually
Yeah.
going to apply it into our own lives.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Also another story of my past as well. Yeah, when I was 18, like Nova, it wasn't. I guess you could say it was an alcohol addiction as well. Then, um, I didn't have a nicotine addiction then, but I did, social smoke with my friends and stuff. But I didn't have the urge to, so I wasn't addicted to it just because it was like every now and then. But yeah, I was going out clubbing, having fun with friends, and I think because at that point in time of life, I kind of didn't know what I wanted to do. I dropped out of uni personally because I wasn't even sure if studying IT was what I wanted to do. But yeah, I did kind of, turn to alcohol to kind of just get out, of real life and into, just to do things that I find fun, going out dancing with friends and stuff and having a few drinks, a few cold ones. But over time, it does take a toll, as Nova's mentioned, on your body and mental health as well. And I did stop because it was, I got kind of busy with life as well, and my mates also kind of got busy with their lives, so we weren't really going out too much and we weren't drinking that much. So yeah, and then there was a point in time as well where I kind of did want to turn back and have a few more drinks, but then I found out that I couldn't really drink anymore. I went from a heavy drinker to like an extremely light drinker. So
Yeah,
I guess
age
that's a
catches
good
up
thing.
with you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And I think it went for like, it was quite a long period. We were kind of like drinking every weekend, for like a year straight. So that was, yeah, not good. All right, moving on.
Wait, what's the most you have drank in one night? If you
Or
remember.
the most, um, the most was, yeah, it was at a party, and yeah, it was a lot of drinks. Um, I'm not exactly sure how much, but it was a lot. I kind of put my mates to bed, gave them water. They were vomiting everywhere, and then in the process of doing that, I kind of forgot to drink water myself. But yeah, and I was on Omegle. I was talking to random people, talking to a lot of girls and stuff at the time, and I just blanked out. And I woke up on the couch the next day, and I did not remember a single thing prior to that. So, yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so we'll go into should we talk about first how we got over our addiction? Or
Yeah, we can discuss that.
okay. We'll go over steps our professionals have recommended later. But what I did was I realized this isn't the life I wanted to live anymore.
Mhm.
I realized I had a sad existence, I didn't have a social life, I just wasn't doing what I wanted to do in life. So I realized I had to change. So I started cutting back on my alcohol. I set a limit for myself, like, okay, you can have this many drinks a day, and you're not allowed to go over. And I'll be very strict to myself. And eventually cut it down until I got to 0 drinks of alcohol.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Were there any struggles in between?
because I took it slowly, and because I was passionate to study again, get a job, and I knew I wouldn't be able to do those things if I was still drinking.
Yeah.
So I used my passion to wanna go to university again, wanting to get a job again,
Yeah.
to fuel or cutting down on my drinking.
Yeah. Myself, pretty much similar as well, because we all grow up eventually, and I started to envy other people as well. Like they're building themselves a career, moving up in life. So I kind of saw that, and I was like, damn, like, what am I doing? I kind of have to cut back, not going out. Even spending time with friends, I had to kind of cut that down as well, and had to find out what I wanted to do for myself. And yeah, and then slowly over time, you know, uh, you just stop kind of drinking. And then the reason why I stopped was because I just couldn't drink anymore. So that I guess
Yeah.
that's a good thing. But I still occasionally course. Just for special occasions and stuff.
Yeah. I made a promise to myself that I'll only drink during happy times and celebration times.
Yeah.
I'll never drink again to numb the pain. That's what I made a
Yeah.
promise to myself.
Yeah, and they're usually the best times to drink as well.
Yeah. So I can go months without alcohol. But because I was able to overcome my addiction, I can drink again. So I'm not one of those people who stays sober for like 10 years. Because if they drink again, they're going to fall back into their addiction.
Yeah.
Because of my promise I made to myself where I only drink during celebration times, like someone's birthday or for happy reasons, I know I'm not going to fall back into it again.
Yeah.
Oh, did I ever tell you about my 25th birthday?
Oh no, actually. How did that go?
Okay, so for my 25th birthday, it started as a joke with a friend. I'm like, 25 shots for 25 years alive. It was just a joke at first, and it was soju shots, right?
Oh no.
So it was a joke, but as it got closer and closer to my birthday, like we were both like, yeah, let's actually do it. Well, let's actually do this. Do you know Maru? do you know Maru in the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went to Maru, and I live streamed the event. I live streamed my birthday with Ken. You'll meet Ken soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ken and me, we both ordered 3 bottles of soju each.
Oh man.
I worked it out. I worked out like how big a shot glass is and how much bottles of soju we need. So we got 3 bottles each, and that will get us to 25 shots. So
Oh my
over a
God.
2-hour period, we'll take a shot, and we timed it perfectly. So we said, okay, we'll only be in the restaurant for like 2 hours. So we timed every shot to be exactly on time, so we could get it done in that 2 hours. And we were just doing fun live stuff on the live stream, like we're answering questions, and every time we took a shot, we'd say, okay, I dedicate this shot to, and then we'll just say random shit. Like for the 18th one, I'm like, I dedicate this shot to losing my virginity. Yeah.
Oh man.
I dedicate this shot to boobs. Like just random shit like that.
Did you get home alright later on?
Yeah, I took public transport.
Yeah.
So after doing 25 shots, so 3 bottles of soju each, Ken was gone, dude. He fell asleep on the bench in King George Square. He's like, I don't feel too good, and then he just passed out in the bench in King George Square. I'm fine because previous alcoholic, so my alcohol tolerance is massive.
Yeah.
But I'm just babysitting Ken because he's passed out on the bench, and then he wakes up like 30 minutes later just to throw up, and then falls asleep again. I'm like, oh gosh. And I got photos from it as well.
Yes,
see him
memories.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the last time I drank a lot. But
Damn.
yeah, happy times. So drinking for happy times. Okay, so when breaking addiction, you may have withdrawal symptoms. Some of these symptoms are tiredness, mood changes, insomnia, cravings, and aches and pains.
Yeah.
Oh, mood changes is the biggest one for me. When I said, okay, I'm gonna quit nicotine, the first time at the start of this year, I said, okay, I'm gonna vape for the last time on the 31st of December. Oh, and you saw how moody I got. Oh.
Yeah, not too bad, honestly, but yeah, you know.
I get irritated very easy when I'm trying to get off a addiction.
Yeah. When I knew you were, you know, like you mentioned you were getting off of it, and I was like, oh, okay, he's gonna have you know, he's gonna have mood swings, because you know it happens to all of us. Hence why, you know, at that time I didn't say anything to like, you know, cause an altercation, at all.
Yeah.
Because it's, it's gonna happen to all of us anyway. So.
Elijah, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry for going off at you at that time.
Now you know why.
Yeah, now you know why. Oh gosh, I was getting into arguments during that time. I was very easily irritated because no nicotine to calm my mind, you know?
Yeah.
It is tough.
Yeah, it's similar to me as well. I started flaming people, just on league. And even when I'm driving as well, because it's like, it's just the mood changes, man.
Oh, definitely. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so how would someone cope with withdrawal,
Well,
with the stress?
yeah, depending on the person, I guess the biggest one that a lot of people use to cope with stress would be to receive advice from a counselor. Just because if they're specialized in that field, they'll be able to, give you proper advice, and maybe steps to take. But there are many others as well, such as exercising, um, talking and hanging out with friends, eating healthy, sleeping well as well. Obviously, it is a little bit hard because you do get insomnia, and as well as having like a healthy routine, because if you can build that healthy routine up, then you'll kind of like stick to it and get used to it. But yeah, those are a few of the coping mechanisms.
Okay, so from our list, exercise is one of them. I know exercise works for
Yeah,
addiction. It
Yeah,
definitely
definitely.
works. So if you get like a craving, you can go for a walk. Like get out of the area where the craving's coming from.
yeah. You could also use it like, if you do feel the addiction coming in, exercising. If you burn yourself out, you just, like you're not gonna bother, to turn back into whatever you're addicted to because you're
Yeah.
already too tired.
Yeah. So friends is another one. Friends definitely help. Having healthy people around you. Like, I mean healthy like, oh, you know what I mean by healthy. Like
Yeah,
a healthy
like-
friendship.
yeah, yeah. And as well as depending on the person, let's say if you had an alcohol addiction as an example, and you're hanging out with a friend, sure they may be a good friend, but if they're also addicted to alcohol, then chances are you might relapse as well.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah, you definitely got to surround yourself with friends who are going to be supportive and help you through it, even when you get the mood swings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one is having a routine. That's what I had to do. Because I was limiting the amount of drinks I'll have. I would tell myself, okay, you're only allowed to drink during this time. It's the same thing when I said, oh, you're only allowed to drink during happy and celebration times. That's what it
Yeah.
means to have a routine.
Yeah.
Eating healthy? I don't know much about that.
Yeah, eating healthy. I guess it's just more of a physical thing. If you're eating healthy, then let's say for example, if you've got a drug or alcohol addiction and you're eating healthy or healthier, then chances are you're less likely to turn to it, because when you're eating healthy, you start feeling healthier. Your mood is a bit lighter than what it was before. Yeah, I guess that's one of the things.
Yeah. There's also sleeping well. I can contest that. No, not contest. That's not the right word. I can agree with that. Getting good sleep definitely helps a lot, because the healthier your mind is from getting good amount of sleep, the less likely you're gonna turn to alcohol. Because if you feel tired during the day, and then you have a long day at work, like you're like, oh, I just want to drink, I just want to drink. But if you get a good amount of sleep and your energy levels are good, then you don't really feel forced to have a drink.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into relapse.
Oh,
you want to take this one?
Yep. Alrighty, guys. So, what is relapsing? It's pretty much a normal withdrawal process. When you have an addiction, and it's where you have the urge to, when you're trying to get off of it, you have the urge to get back on. And yeah, it does take multiple attempts. You will have a lot of, struggles through it. Hence why a lot of support is needed. So a lot of coping mechanisms are needed when you're going through relapsing. Because chances are, we all will turn back to whatever we're addicted to. But it does take multiple attempts, and relapsing is normal, guys. So just be aware of that. But yeah, multiple attempts, it's normal. We all go through it, Nova and I as well. So
Yeah, like if you can quit on the first try, I don't know how you had an addiction in the first place.
yeah.
Like, yeah, like there are gonna be times where you're gonna relapse. You're gonna have a hard day, and you wanna go back to something that helps you cope with that.
Yeah.
Like with me, like I attempted to quit nicotine this year, and I have relapsed a few times now because of just stressful stuff happening in my life. Yeah. And on alcohol, because I had solid goals, it was a bit easier. But with nicotine and the effect it has on my brain, because it feels good on the brain, like you don't wake up with a hangover because of nicotine.
Yeah.
The bad stuff happens when you withdraw from nicotine.
Yes.
Like alcohol, like your body actually starts to feel good after a few days. Because alcohol makes you feel sick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel less energized the following morning. You'll feel groggy, and I think the biggest one is you'll feel unmotivated to do anything.
Like, I'm not going to go into the studies of nicotine because I don't want to put nicotine into a positive light. But basically, nicotine helps me focus, and because I'm an overthinker and my mind wanders a lot, I use nicotine to help focus my mind when I need it. So when I'm going through anxiety sometimes, I can just use nicotine to help calm me down quicker.
Yeah.
And like stuff like that. And that's not good. So I've been working on ways to find other ways to get through anxiety instead. Like the STAR method we mentioned in the first episode. Yeah, you know what the STAR method is. Go check out the first episode if you don't. But yeah, so expect to relapse, because the first time you do it, you're gonna go through so many withdrawals. It's gonna hurt a lot. And if you get to a week, that's great. Like, you went a week without your addiction. And yeah, you may get back on it again, but next time you may go 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And eventually, the time between relapses will get bigger and bigger.
Yep. And then eventually, and hopefully, you'll get off of it.
Yeah, but that's why you need the support. Get a good counselor, get some good friends who can support you through it, who make you feel like you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, steps to overcoming addiction. So Harvard Medical School has created a 5-step process to overcoming addiction. Step 1 is set a quit date. Yeah, that's a great one. I have personally done that. So tonight, after this podcast ends, I'm not gonna touch nicotine. If you can't hear me right now, I do have a vape in my hand.
Hit it every now and then. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have vaped every episode of the podcast. I vape during the podcast to keep my mind focused so I don't daydream during the podcast. But from this
Yeah.
episode on, no more nicotine during the podcast. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and
quit.
obviously, I'm also here to support Nova as well. So, you know, I'm his friend in this case to overcome his addiction. and
Yeah,
to
so
give
yeah, so my quit date is today. Right
Yeah,
after podcast finishes.
yeah, and I'm prepping myself for the mood changes too. So
Oh, get
gotta keep
ready.
that in mind. But yeah, setting a quit date's good because it's kind of like a goal as well. So you'll kind of just set that, and you'll know when you want to start doing it, rather than I'm doing it now. It's like like if you set a time and date, then you'll kind of be like, oh okay, yeah, I better stop.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so step 2 is change your environment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we said before, get good friends who are there to support you. Don't hang around your drug addicted friends. Don't hang around your alcoholic friends. Don't hang around your smoking friends if you know they're going to be tempting you to fuel your addiction. Pretty much.
Yep, exactly.
Also, don't go to the vape shop then.
Yeah,
So-
don't go near it.
Don't go
Or the
to
liquor store.
Yeah. If you have to walk through a liquor store, well, walk past the liquor store like I do, because my Coles is right next to the liquor store. You know, Liquorland is basically always right next to the Coles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't even look at it. That's what I had to do. Because when I was trying to get off my alcoholic tendencies, I just would not look at the alcohol store at all. Like, not even looking in its direction when I had to walk past it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be tempted. Oh, which goes into step 3, distract yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, so find ways that can distract you from your addiction. Whether it's going for walks whenever you feel craving. You can also read a book. Yeah, just find things that distance yourself from your addiction.
Yeah. It can be anything, guys. I'd recommend to do things like something you enjoy. So if you like going to the gym, if you like going for walks, or even going for a drive or something, just something that's entertaining you to distract yourself. Because it kind of builds a routine as well. So you kind of just start doing it rather than getting back on whatever you're addicted to.
And step 4 is review your past attempts at quitting. So if you relapse, try and see what went wrong and look at it and say, okay, what can I change for next time? So if you went back to smoking again, ask, okay, what caused this and what am I going to do different next time?
Yeah.
So if you had like a really stressful day at work, you're like, oh, I really need cigarettes, and then you relapse. Say, okay, what can I do differently about stress? Like, when I'm stressed, I can go to gym and let out a frustration. I can go talk to a friend,
Yeah.
Yeah, do
Go
stuff
watch a
differently.
movie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Create something else to help you overcome that addiction.
Yeah.
Okay, and final step 5, create a support network. We covered this. Friends and a counselor. Find someone you can trust. Go to a counselor to help you. Go to your medical professional. They can help you. Like for smoking, you can get nicotine patches. You can get nicotine gum.
Yep.
You can even get medication that blocks the nicotine receptors in your brain, which makes smoking less enjoyable. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do, but try and create a support network around you of people you trust so they can help you get through it. So yeah. So for researching, there's a lot of resources online for overcome addiction. We use healthdirect.gov.au for this episode. They have a lot of resources that can help you overcome your addiction. There's like Alcoholic Anonymous Australia. You can go to your medical professional, your GP can recommend you someone to, like a counselor, to help you overcome it. But yeah, look online, guys, and see what you can do. There's also apps you can use. There's apps that can teach you how to quit as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources, guys. But yeah, best to do your research, because not everyone is the same, of course. Everyone will cope differently and relapse differently. So, you know, like, you gotta do your research and see what works out best for you. Obviously, guys, multiple attempts. It's obviously not easy to, you know, just overcome it immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah,
As
as well as feel free to reach out to us as well. We're more than happy to, you know, kind of look for guides maybe, or even do a bit of research ourselves for you guys, to kind of meet your needs, depending on your situation, of course. And yeah, best people I would say would be a counselor, because they're already specialized in that field.
Yeah, I actually found Buddhism because of wanting to quit.
Oh, right, nice.
Yeah, so I heard about the things Buddhists do and that.
Yeah.
So I started researching into it to help. And I found things like meditation to help a lot.
Yeah.
Because you can think about things and then withdraw them from your mind, let it go.
Yeah.
And it helps with the frustration and the mood swings. So you're gonna see me meditate a lot this next week. Yeah, I'm gonna be meditating so much this next week.
Yeah.
Oh,
as well
good.
as previously, Nova's mentioned that, Buddhism also helped them with mental health as well, not just addiction. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, guys, it's been great. We thank you for watching. This is SEN Podcast signing out. Oh, just before we go, the next episode is on loneliness. That should be a good episode.
It's gonna be quite a sad one. We will go through it at
it
stages,
will be
of
sad.
course. But yeah, guys, tune in next time.